Hannibal Barca was born into a world at war. Carthage, his homeland, was a powerful maritime empire centered on the North African coast. The city was a rival to Rome, the rising power in Italy. Hannibal entered the world in 247 BC, just a year after Carthage had suffered a stinging defeat in the First Punic War, a conflict for control of the strategically vital island of Sicily. His father, Hannibal Barca, was a renowned Carthaginian general who had fought bravely in the war's closing years. Even as a young boy, Hannibal learned the arts of war and leadership from his father. Hamilcar instilled in his son a deep hatred of Rome and a burning desire for revenge. He took Hannibal with him to Spain, where Carthage sought to establish a new power base after losing Sicily. It was here, amidst the rugged mountains and fertile valleys of Iberia, that Hannibal received his military education. He learned to ride, fight, and command, quickly proving himself a capable and eager student. By his early 20s, Hannibal had already distinguished himself as a soldier and leader. He possessed a keen intellect, a charismatic personality, and an aura of authority that commanded respect from his men. When his father died in battle in 228 BC, Hannibal's brother-in-law, Hasdrubal the Fair, assumed command of the Carthaginian forces in Spain. Hannibal served under Hasdrubal for several years, further honing his skills and gaining valuable experience. The death of Hamilcar did not extinguish the flames of animosity between Carthage and Rome. The two powers eyed each other with suspicion, their rivalry a smoldering ember threatening to ignite into a full-blown conflagration. When Hasdrubal the Fair was assassinated in 221 BC, the Carthaginian army in Spain acclaimed Hannibal, then 26 years old, as their new commander. His ascension marked a turning point in the Western Mediterranean, setting the stage for a clash of titans. Rome, aware of Hannibal's reputation and wary of his lineage, sought to limit Carthaginian expansion in Spain. Treaties existed between the two powers, but they were fragile agreements, easily broken by the ambitions of men like Hannibal. He, however, was not content with simply maintaining Carthage's holdings in Iberia. He saw an opportunity to strike at the heart of his enemy, to carry the war to Roman soil and avenge the humiliations of the First Punic War. Hannibal spent the next 2 years consolidating his power in Spain and preparing for his audacious campaign against Rome. He forged alliances with local tribes, trained a formidable army, and gathered supplies. His army was a diverse force, composed of Carthaginian citizens, Libyan infantry, fierce Numidian cavalry, and warriors from various Iberian tribes. Hannibal's genius lay not only in his tactical brilliance, but also in his ability to mold this disparate group into a cohesive and effective fighting force. In the spring of 218 BC, Hannibal embarked on his legendary march across the Alps. This daring maneuver was unprecedented in ancient warfare. The Alps, a formidable mountain range separating Italy from the rest of Europe, were considered all but impassable for a large army, especially with cavalry and war elephants. Yet, Hannibal was undeterred. He believed that surprising the Romans by invading Italy from the north, a route they would never expect, was key to defeating them. The journey was fraught with peril. Hannibal's army faced treacherous mountain passes, icy conditions, and attacks from hostile tribesmen. The crossing took a heavy toll on his men and animals. Many perished from the cold, exhaustion, or enemy attacks. Hannibal himself lost an eye to the harsh conditions, yet he pressed on, his determination unwavering. After 15 grueling days, Hannibal and his battered but unbroken army emerged from the Alps into the plains of northern Italy. The Romans, caught completely off guard by Hannibal's audacious maneuver, were ill-prepared to face the Carthaginian army. Hannibal's arrival sent shockwaves through the Roman world. They had underestimated their enemy, believing the Alps to be an insurmountable barrier. Now the Carthaginian army stood on Italian soil, a dagger pointed at the heart of the Republic. Hannibal, despite the losses incurred during the crossing, wasted no time in pressing his advantage. He quickly won over some of the local Gallic tribes, bolstering his ranks and securing his supply lines. The Romans, now fully aware of the threat posed by Hannibal, dispatched armies north to confront the invaders. The first major clash came at the Battle of Trebia in December of 218 BC. Hannibal, a master tactician, lured the Roman army into a trap, ambushing them as they crossed the icy Trebia River. The Carthaginian victory was decisive, shattering Roman morale and demonstrating Hannibal's tactical brilliance. The following spring, Hannibal again outmaneuvered the Romans, this time at Lake Trasimene. He ambushed the Roman army under the command of the consul Gaius Flaminius, annihilating it in a devastating surprise attack. The Battle of Lake Trasimene was a masterpiece of military deception and tactical execution. These victories sent shockwaves through Rome. Panic gripped the city as news of the defeat spread. The Senate, realizing the gravity of the situation, appointed Quintus Fabius Maximus as dictator. Fabius, recognizing Hannibal's tactical genius, adopted a strategy of attrition, avoiding pitched battles and harassing the Carthaginian supply lines. However, this cautious approach proved unpopular with the Roman people, who clamored for a decisive victory. In 216 BC, the Romans assembled a massive army, determined to crush Hannibal once and for all. The two forces met at Cannae, in southeastern Italy, in what would become one of the most famous battles in military history. Hannibal, despite being outnumbered, achieved a stunning victory, encircling and annihilating the Roman army. Cannae was a masterpiece of tactical brilliance, a testament to Hannibal's military genius. It is still studied today as one of the greatest military victories of all time.